Can you get a tech job with only the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner? That is a question that I've been getting a lot recently, and it usually comes in one of two flavors. The first way is from somebody that is brand new to tech or brand new to cloud, and they have a question, hey, if I get this fundamental AWS cloud certification, what jobs would this make me eligible for? The second flavor of question that I get is from somebody that it is clear that they want to put in the minimum level of work and get the maximum level of reward, and they're concerned about, hey, if I can get this AWS Cloud Practitioner, what's the quickest job I can get? And what I'm going to do in this video is walk you through the information that's available to you. I don't want to immediately weigh in and give you what my take is. I want to carry you on this journey with me, providing you the same information that I have access to, get you up to speed. So when it comes time to weigh in, you can see what I would call the method behind the madness, the reason why I have formed my hot take on this. Now, if you're new here, I'm Greg, creator of Thoughtful Techie Cloud, and each week I create a video to help you navigate your AWS cloud and tech journey. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe right now, because I'm going to tell you, the fear of missing out is real, and if you're not subscribed, you're missing all the goodness the Thoughtful Techie Cloud YouTube channel has to offer you. Now, I don't want to waste your time, so I want to bring the maximum value to you in the shortest amount of time possible. That's why we're going to jump into this first link here, and this is what I call the AWS certification hierarchy. This lists out the available AWS certifications, and why this is important is because now you're going to be able to see where the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner falls in line with the rest of the AWS certifications. As you can see here, the Cloud Practitioner is considered a foundational certification. So this is a knowledge-based certification for foundational understanding of AWS Cloud. And it's important to really call out here that this is a certification that requires no prior experience needed. Now, this is the bottom of the hierarchy. Above that is going to be the associate. Associate-based certifications are role-based certifications that showcase a certain level of knowledge of skills on AWS, and they help build your credibility as an AWS cloud professional. Bumping up one level above the associate is professional. These are also role-based certifications that validate advanced skills. So it's a bump up from that associate and the advanced knowledge required to design, secure, optimize, and modernize applications and to automate process on AWS. This requires 2 years prior of AWS cloud experience is recommended. Now, for the associate, I didn't mention, but I'll call it out now, prior cloud and or strong on-premises or data center experience is recommended. And then you have what is called the specialty tier, and this is where you'll dive deeper in a specific position to help you become a trusted advisor and a specialty for your stakeholders and customers in specific strategic areas. And with the specialty, the respective exam guides will tell you what kind of prior experience you need. So just in this first review, we're already starting to get some clues with the AWS Cloud Practitioner. To note, no prior experience needed, and this is a knowledge-based certification as opposed to a skills-based certification, which you would see in something like the associate or the professional level. I've hopped over here to the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner exam landing page. And this page will help you learn more about the certification and AWS resources that you can use to help you prepare for the certification. Now, if we take a look at the exam overview, again, this is going to be foundational. The exam duration is 90 minutes. You'll find with the associate and professional, the exam duration is more in terms of minutes, which means there's more of a demand for those associate and advanced level, professional level certifications. This exam format is 65 questions, and you can take this in a testing center or online, and it's available in multiple languages. But where I really want to point your attention to is this blurb of text right here. So the Cloud Practitioner validates again the foundational high-level understanding, not a deep level, but a high level of understanding of AWS cloud services and terminology. And this is a good starting point on the AWS certification journey. So this is foundational. We're starting on that certification journey. And as noted in that prior page that we just looked at, Cloud Practitioner requires no prior tech background. And we're quickly starting to notice there's a pattern forming here. But I want to continue on this theme, and that's why I'm going to jump over here to the exam guide. And let me scroll up here to the top. This is the Certified Cloud Practitioner exam guide. Every AWS certification has a copy of the exam guide, and this is one of the most important things to review firsthand when you're considering any AWS certification. Now, I'm just going to go over this very quickly, not everything in detail, but I want to call out some important things that we need to consider to help us answer the question, can you get a tech job with only the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner? So we look here and it says, this exam is intended for individuals who can effectively demonstrate their overall knowledge of AWS Cloud independent of a specific role. So unlike the associate tier and professional tier, which focus on solution architect associate or developer associate or SysOps administrator associate, or the professional level, which is DevOps engineer pro or solution architect pro, listen, this is just knowledge and starting from the foundational level. Some of the things that Cloud Practitioner will focus on is it'll help you to be able to explain the value of AWS Cloud. You're going to understand and be able to explain AWS shared responsibility model, understand security best practices, understand the AWS cloud costs, economics, and billing practices, describe and position, figure out those AWS core AWS services, including compute, network, database, and storage. And you're going to be able to identify some AWS services for common use cases. Now, where this gets interesting is the target candidate description. Some of this information overlaps, but it's good because we're seeing this in multiple places. So again, the target candidate has up to 6 months of exposure to AWS cloud design or implementation or operations. And this certification is ideal for candidates who are pursuing non-IT backgrounds, IT being information technology, non-IT backgrounds. So again, you're coming from a non-technical background, starting your journey. These candidates might be in the early stages of pursuing an AWS cloud career or might work with people in AWS cloud roles. So while you might not directly be in a cloud role, you may be working with people in cloud roles. So I'm going to expand on this later when I go into my final take on this after we've finalized the review of this information. And the final document I want to review is the AWS certification path. This is a document that helps you plan your AWS certification journey. So we'll start out with this question: which AWS certification should I start with? So we'll look at these columns here. New to IT and cloud. So if you're coming from a non-IT background and switching into a cloud career, you would start with the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner, which is the subject of this video, that validates a foundational knowledge of AWS cloud and terminology. Now let's say, what if you are already in a non-technical role, which we'll call in this case a line of business role, such as a sales or marketing or some other business role? You could also start with the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner. And again, this would validate your foundational knowledge of AWS cloud and terminology. And while you are not the person in the technical role, this is going to help you to be able to carry on more in-depth conversations with the people that are in the technical roles and dealing with the cloud on a daily basis. Now let's look at that last column there, IT professionals. This is for somebody with 1 to 3 years of IT or a STEM background experience. Where would they start off in the AWS certification hierarchy? You would start with an associate level certification, which we mentioned earlier. I went over a few of those that aligns to a specific role that you are interested in. And what this would do is validate your AWS cloud knowledge and skill set based on that role you're interested in. It's going to boost your confidence and credibility with employers and help you build your cloud career. And my final point from this document that really drives the point home, we're going to look at some of the roles here on the left-hand side: solution architect, application architect. And then there's a picture here that shows you from left to right which recommended certifications that you should get to develop that path that would help put you on the right path to achieve that role. So let's look at and say if you wanted to be a solution architect, and these are all technical roles, you would start off with cloud practitioner, then transition over to solution architect associate, then go over to the solution architect professional, and then as a recommendation, do a deep dive with AWS security. Take a look at application architect. We're starting off with cloud practitioner, and then we're going on to solution architect associate, developer, and I don't want to read all these because just as I scroll down, you'll notice something interesting. Cloud data engineer. So the starting point is a cloud practitioner. However, you never see the cloud practitioner positioned all by itself for anything that's related to a technical role. So it's a great starting point for you to lay that foundational knowledge, but in and of itself, it's not enough. And that's also demonstrated here in each of these roles in this AWS certification path document. Same thing, software development engineer. We're starting off with cloud practitioner, but we're never stopping there. We're always layering on some additional recommendations here in terms of certifications. System administrator, same thing. Cloud engineer, we need a whole bunch of stuff here, not just a cloud practitioner. Test engineer and cloud DevOps engineer. DevSecOps engineer, cloud security engineer, cloud security architect, even the network engineer. Cloud practitioner is just literally step one, but it's never enough to just stop there. Machine learning engineer, the same thing, and the theme continues. So here's my take. After I have walked you through the path we've gone down extensively over the information I have available to me, as we've gone over with you, now you've had time to digest it. I'm going to be real with you. I've been in tech for over 20 years, and I've worked at AWS in big tech in the cloud space for almost 8 years now. And I'm not here just to tell you what you want to hear. I've got to tell you the truth to set expectations properly. Is the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner all by itself enough to get a tech job and set you up for success? Absolutely not. However, where the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner excels is in two areas. One, if you aspire for a technical role in cloud, as I've laid out in the AWS certification path, you can see that it's a great starting point to lay the foundation and prepare you for future AWS certifications that are more aligned to a specific skill set or specialty. The second way that the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner helps make you successful is if you are already in a non-technical role and you're not necessarily planning to jump into tech, but you are interacting and communicating with people that are in the cloud in technical roles, and you wanted to be able to hold intelligent conversations, be able to speak deeper on cloud topics, and be able to understand the cloud and communicate with those cloud professionals better. For example, if you're in sales or marketing or project management, the AWS Cloud Practitioner is going to set you up very nicely there. And there you have it. AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner by itself is simply not enough to land a tech job and be successful. But it still is a very meaningful certification for the reasons I've laid out in this video. If you have any questions, by all means, go ahead and drop those in the comments. And while you're down there, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. And if after watching this video, you are really curious to learn more about AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner and the overall exam preparation, make sure you take a look at this video right here. I go a lot deeper into the topic. Don't forget to like and share, and I'll see you in the next video.